We just finished a recording, a Q&A with a wonderful group of people. And we came in to record some additional answers, but we could not figure out how to record without going live. So here we are. And I thought it would be fun to just chat about the experience because we've been, we work so much together behind the scenes, but this is our first time doing like a true collaborative event. So yeah, what do you two think? What are your
Super
thoughts?
fun. Super fun. I thought it was super interesting, the questions, like just how perfect they were.
Yeah, I know it was
As far
almost
as
like
like
we
what
planted
we
them. I promise we didn't though.
I know. I mean, questions about voice, questions about how do I as an introvert brand myself, take the stage? How do I get over the blocks that I have for writing a book? Like if we had written them, they couldn't have been more perfect. So
Mhm.
that was super cool. Um
I,
yeah.
I agree with you. I was surprised about the amount of introvert questions that were coming in,
Mhm.
and to me it's like as recovering introverts.
I think
It's
that's such a
like,
huge misconception, like, and you hear actors talking about this a lot too, like, this sense that, like, the public persona is the actual person, and I think it's rarely the case, like, honestly, I said during the call, like, or the session, that 75% of people are introverts when it comes to their own brand, and that might be even higher, it might be, like, 80%, truly, in my experience, only about 10% of the people that we work with are like, "Yeah, let's go, I'm ready." Most of them
Yeah.
are like, I'm terrified, I'm not sure. I'm not this person, right? But I feel a pull to it. I think that's very, very common.
Yeah. Well, and it's also like I think, one of the things that we talked about we unpacked in the conversation is that, so the question, just for anybody who wasn't there or doesn't watch the replay, was that this introversion is causing this like inability to move forward with some of the things that they'd want to do, like podcasts, speaking, other things like that. But what we also started talking about is the fact that that may not actually be the reason. It might be a skill
Mhm.
gap. It might be a mindset. And actually, I mean, introverts make some of the best public speakers in the world, the best podcast guests, the best video content creators. They're like natural actors. So I think it's interesting because I think when you can't do something, it's instantly like a character flaw or like something
Yeah.
you can't do, instead of being like, oh, I could learn that. Like I could learn to write a book. I could learn to talk about my brand more effectively. I could learn to speak.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the same thing when people say they have the imposter syndrome, right? And to me, I'm like, stop calling it a syndrome, because that makes
Yeah.
it feel like you need a pill for it, or there's like this
Yeah.
big solution. And I think it's the same thing, Stacey. It's this gap of knowledge or this fear that is coming up in you that feels like you're not enough.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
truly, that can be um, tampered with having the skill sets. I'm not a person that says you will never be afraid going on stage doing this. If you follow these 3 steps, I'm so exhausted by follow these 3 steps and it'll save your world. And so to
Yeah.
me, I think it could be tampered. I think it can be dampened once you
Mhm.
have the strategies, and then the rest of the things, once you have the strategies, then to Emily's point during our conversation during the Q&A, it's about consistency with those strategies and
Mhm.
consistently showing up, because you have to have multiple proof points that you can survive it. You have the skill
Mhm.
set, you're building it, and then don't be afraid of making mistakes. I mean, in rehearsal, sometimes people say, "Oh, I don't want to rehearse because I want to sound authentic." Rehearsal is so you can be messy and try things and stretch yourself and go, "Oh, what if I did this instead? What if I did?" It's the playing space. If the first time you do something is in front of an audience, yeah, of course you're going to have massive anxiety because you're
Yeah.
like, "Let's see if this worked." Oh my God,
Yeah.
that didn't. That's, oh, okay. And you don't want to build that proof point for yourself.
Yeah, this is something I wanted to share. We sort of ran out of time. I also think kind of tapping into that, like, you'll survive it. worst case scenario, like, and I've had this happen. Kind of one of my first, maybe not my first, but my first kind of big speaking gig, it's up in front of like 500 people, and the audience was just flat. I was prepared, I had done all the work, I had shown
Oh,
up,
that's rough.
but the
That is
audience was just,
rough.
it was the
Yeah.
last day of a conference. I was like the closing keynote, and it was just like they were just quiet, and sometimes that happens, and I've
Mhm.
learned over time. At the time, it was devastating. I went back to my room and just cried and just
That
felt terrible.
many times, yes.
Yeah, but then I also realized, and then I went back downstairs, and I had, like, another night and saw some people in the lobby who came up to me like, "Wow, that was amazing, like, so inspiring, like, thank you, wanna come to dinner with us?" And I was like, "What?" Were we at the same speech? Because I just face planted in front of everyone. But what I learned is that I survived the worst case scenario, still got, paid and did the thing that I promised I would deliver. And people react differently. People internalize differently. Audiences are different. So I think one of the skills you learn is that if the audience isn't reacting in the way you've kind of cast in your mind, that doesn't mean that your words aren't hitting or that you're like that you're not owning the moment. It can just mean it's the character of the audience or the day or the time of day or whatever. But you survive it, you learn a ton, and then you take that into um, the next opportunity that you have.
Yeah, all learnings and going, okay. Because we've all had cricket audiences or like, and the worst
Ugh.
is when somebody prepares a joke, like I hate saying
Oh,
this on stage and I just want to hug them and they like say a joke and then they like have planned a pause line for people to
yeah.
laugh and then people don't laugh and then you see the panic on their face.
Oh, yeah, or, like, I
Yes.
I had somebody, like, I think it was last year, I was emceeing something, and somebody in, like, the 3rd row, they were just talking to each other, like, openly. I was a teacher, so my technique in those situations is just to talk directly at them while I'm giving my talk, and it ends, it never starts again. Just, deliver the talk to them until they connect with me, and then I move on. That's what I that's basically what I would do to my students when they were talking. I would just come, like, lean on their desk and, until they stopped, and then it was like, never had to say a word, just move on.
Yeah.
Or quietly just stop and stare at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
That was always
awkward.
effective as like the student when the teacher's like, "Oh no, Emily, we'll wait till you're done."
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, man. Well, it's interesting because when we were just, doing our Q&A, we did share some personal things, personal experience. But of course, the point of that is not for us to just tell about our stories. We want to share our demonstrated expertise and strategies that have worked for other people. And so it's a little bit of a different vibe, I think, than what we're doing now. But one of the things that I think, like, I would love to hear from each of you is was there a story that you wanted to tell when we were just in this previous session, but it didn't quite fit into our, Q&A structure, like a learning experience that you had that, like, a lot of times people look at you two and probably think they're so polished, they've got it together, they're just like high achievers, but we've all had those moments. I didn't know if anything came up for you when we were just in our last session.
Emily, I'll pass the mic to you. I can't think of anything
Well, I mean,
yet.
that definitely came up for me. I mean, just whenever anyone's like trying to work through some of the fears, and Misty, I thought that was such a beautiful answer. Like when you were talking about how sometimes that terror wall, which what a great term,
I know, I
Natalie,
hadn't heard that
you
phrase before.
crushed. Yeah, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
yeah, we didn't nail it. That those can be deeply rooted things, experiences that you had as a young person. I had a client once that in the root session, which, we work with our clients in this intensive session, shared a childhood experience, an elementary school experience when she got up in front of the class and just had this embarrassing thing happen to her. And that was part of like exercising that, telling that story in the room during our session was part of working through it, right? And getting to the
Yeah.
other side where she felt worthy to have her message and develop like what she wanted to say, because in this formative moment she was trying to share something on her heart, and ended up that the class started laughing at her because this other thing outside of her control, right? So I thought
Yeah.
that was and I certainly had like similar experiences. I think it's like the brutal thing about like prepping and getting on stage and doing all the work and then having it like in that moment fall flat, or in my perception fall flat. I mean, I've had that happen. It feels like more often than I've had like the rave, like the awesome moments, but that's probably my negativity bias coming in. Um, yeah, so I mean that experience just stood out for me, and as far as personal experiences. Yeah.
I think that the three of us, our businesses focus on helping people be seen and heard.
Mhm.
And the myth that I probably would want to bust is that this is a muscle to be exercised on a regular basis. It is not, I got it locked down, perfection. I got this, toss of the hair. It is something that you have to continually
Yeah.
like foster. Like you can't.
Yeah.
I was drawing. I was learning how to draw faces, and through that exercise, it was super messy. My faces were absolutely horrible to begin with. It was like, oh, that looks like an alien. That does not look like the person I'm trying to draw. And by the end of the 6 months of really working at it, I could do pretty good faces. Am I a professional portrait artist? No, not at all. But my growth was exponential. I stopped doing that and I went to draw a face a couple weeks ago. I'm back to square one.
Mm.
And so to
Yeah.
me, anything
Mhm.
that you learn, if you're wanting to be a good writer, if you're wanting to like show up consistently and have your brand resonate, if you want to be a speaker, these are all crafts that
Mhm.
you have to pour into. I still get nervous before I go onto a stage, so I implement the same things that I train other people to
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not about like all of a sudden you're gonna like I am now an expert. I don't need to do the work. It's like no. If anything, it's more pressure.
Yeah, because you
Like
also
Yeah.
Stacey,
should
I'm
be
sure coming out with a
continually.
book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was even just thinking about like, obviously, I didn't share anything about this during the session because that's not what I meant to be doing when I'm at the session. But right before our Q&A started, I've been having a really tough week, and my day was part of that. And so when I came in, the first thing that I said was, Misty, could you take us through a grounding meditation? And like, because I know that I'm capable of moving past that. I don't need to carry, this challenging day that I've had into this, but I wouldn't be able to do that if I hadn't been practicing these types of things for years and years and years. Like I had to learn
Mhm.
how to let go of the day, transition into the present, and I knew I had a tool, Misty, to be able to help do that. Um, but it's kind of like that in speaking very much it's so much practice. I think, Misty, you emphasize this so much. It's the people like say they don't want to practice because they want to show up authentically, but like it is the practice, and it's the practice before the practice, and it's the habits, and it's all of that stuff. And I think that it's true with everything. Like all the three of us are also extremely human. We make mistakes. We have things hard happen in our lives, but um, being able to still show up and serve people. I think when you have a calling and mission bigger than, a paycheck or, whatever it is, material, it makes it a lot easier because then you have a reason to be there.
Yeah. I think the myth, like what you're saying, the myth that we want to bust is that people are either born to do this or easily able to do it or not, right?
Yes.
Misty, is that like that's what you're saying? Like
If I
it's
could change
not
one
that
thing,
way. Yeah.
yes.
Right. That
Yeah.
it's not, this is the thing. People want the end result, right? They want the fruit, but like it's so much work to get to the fruit. Like the fruit is the last thing that happens. And I always go to
Yeah.
organic, analogies, but it's like I always say marketing or brand is not that, it's not rocket science. It's clarity of message delivered consistently over time. And like pretty boring. And
A long
pretty
time. That's the same with a
pretty,
book.
yeah,
And
it's
speaking
just
career, like you have to just keep going. And sometimes it can take, like in my experience, at least a year of consistency. Sometimes even we're seeing work we did, seeds we planted 2 years ago, just starting to sprout now.
right. Yeah. People stop, I think, in a lot of cases before they get to that point. We're so busy waiting for the end to show up and like wanting that. And sometimes that blinds us to like the progress you are making along the way. Like whether that's sitting down to write every day or like carving out the time on your calendar to practice that speech ahead
Mm,
of time. Like those are the small victories that are totally not sexy, not anything that you want to post on social media about, but that's actually what gets you to the end. And honestly, like anyone is capable of doing that, if they decide that they're going to give themselves a chance to try it.
Yeah. I like that, Emily. It's true. Like we all have capabilities that are past our beliefs. And so it's just a matter.
Yes.
wait, sorry, can you say that again, Misty? That is so good.
I was just saying we all have capabilities that are past our beliefs. Like
Yes.
our belief in ourselves is sometimes that thing that puts that wall in front of us. But our capabilities can expand way past that. Because to me, I've said this on a few podcasts. Like, do not be the first person to tell yourself no. There are so many people out there that will tell you you can't do this. Like,
Mhm.
why be the first one to do that? Like, just go, let me
Yes.
try. Let me figure this out. Let me be messy. Give yourself permission to like fall on your face and just go, oh, okay, what did I learn about this? What can I tweak and adjust next? But the capabilities in us are exponential. Sometimes we just need the right tip, the right advice, the right strategy, the right human to go, hey, show me the way. I know it's possible. I just need the steps and the clarity to get there. And these truly, if anyone is listening to this right now, I don't know if we're just talking to an echo, but
Since we hadn't planned on going live, but alas, we could not figure out how to record without going live. Also, we
Here
could
we
not
are.
stop laughing long enough to figure it out. So here we
You
are,
are welcome, audience.
potentially talking to nobody,
Potentially no one.
or who knows? There might be like 1,000 people watching right now. We don't
it
know.
might be an echo chamber. I love you two both so much because there are experts in all of our fields. Uh, but what you bring, Emily, to branding, like every single person that I know that you've helped, you have created something that is so differentiated to the market and the pool that they're in. Like it is truly, you're a game changer. And Stacy, I feel like every single person that was in the cohort that I went through had a best-selling book. I mean, one of them is like it's now a textbook in marketing. It was so great. And the impact that you both have on people, like it's not a churn and repeat. It is this caring, loving, I am going to help you through this process so you have the best outcome. And to me, I think that that is hands down the thing that sets you apart in your fields. Just it truly is.
Misty, that's the way you approach it. I mean, the love, the consideration paired with like the science and the generosity with which you create, and like it's empathy and generosity coming together and expertise like all coming together to create such a safe and joyous. I mean, that's what I love most about you. Like it's just a joy bubble, like you to be in your presence. And it's more that like it goes beyond that to like deep support and cheerleading, which people need so much. It's really incredible. You're incredible.
I gotcha.
I'll layer in on that too. I think I echo everything Emily said, but I think that the other layer that I get access to, I'm sure Emily gets access to with you, is like we've been through some real life stuff together and navigated a lot of tears, a lot of hardships, and you're there for like the big joy, which Emily mentioned, which I love about you, but you're also very real.
Mhm.
And you have Misty, you have the most raving fans, clients I have ever met in my life. It's incredible, but you don't do it on purpose. It's just because of who you are and how you serve people and the genuine love and care that you bring to the work that you do, whether that's, a high powered CEO of an international company or a person just starting out their small business that's been a dream for their whole life. Like it really extends from corporate teams to the small business. And Emily, same, I'll say also about you, since we're having a love fest right now.
Yeah.
We talked on our Q&A about like when you and I met on a Zoom call, and you were at TTI Success Insights at the time. I think you were the head of marketing and communications there at the time. Like, I don't remember exactly, big title
Corporate
there.
communication, yeah.
Yeah. And PR, I think you did PR. And yeah, it's just been so cool to see you like leave that, build Root and River, also have an absolutely amazing family and be an incredible mother to your children and a like devoted partner and like a good, like amazing friend. And so I think that that's the side, the more the longer I'm in business, 16 years now, the more I realize that people who are legit are pretty rare. So when I find them, I'm like, you're mine forever and always, never leave my side. Because the fact is, like, we've all worked with people who promised one thing, delivered the nothing almost, or lied, or didn't follow through or ghosted. I've had people ghost me that I've paid money to, those kind of things that happen all the time. And curating a group of amazing people that you trust to send people to, like, a referral is the absolute highest. I think it's the absolute highest compliment you could ever give somebody. And you too earn mine every single time.
Can I ask a question? I'm going to ask a question that
I think you're going to do it regardless of what we say.
I am. I'm just asking permission.
Okay.
With this love fest, are there any questions? Because we all get access to each other by via chat and WhatsApp or a quick Zoom call or whatever. Are there questions? Like, I would love personally, this is so for me, like as I'm going through a rebranding, are there any questions in your guys' business that we'd be willing to like kind of chat through and not just solve, but just get a quick tip of advice? Because I am going through a rebranding, Emily, as I mentioned.
Yes. Plot thickens.
So this is a selfish question.
I like this.
Let's hear your question. Go, Misty. Go.
Yeah,
What's
you give your question. But like real talk right now, Misty, I had not planned to go live, and I have kids at home, and it's almost 7. So I'm gonna just be real and say I don't have a ton of time still to finish our live.
Yeah, I'll make it quick.
It's real and authentic right now, and that's what it is. So we can do like a rapid fire. I would love that.
I would love a rapid fire. So Emily, your brain on my new brand. We already have the look and feel. We've kind of been testing things out. We have like all of the elements that I'm super happy about. One of the things that I would love your insight on is it is a completely different look and feel than what we've gone to market with in the past. And so we are trying to figure out with this pivot, do we just rip off the brand, like
the Band-Aid? Rip off the Band-Aid?
And just launch this like whole new look and feel and go for it? Or would you recommend a transition phase of one brand to another to ease people into something that is going to be so different than who we've gone to market with?
Different from a visual perspective.
Different from visual perspective, a little bit more sass, I'd say, a bit
Ooh,
more
I love
rebellious,
sass.
a
Oh
little bit
yeah.
more rebellious, but we
Please,
are.
can we
Yeah.
have a sneak peek at this, Misty? Like, we need
I
to see
know,
this
so
before the rest of the world sees it.
I
for
always
sure.
say, like, if we're doing a brand reintroduction, first of all, it's just like evolution. It's evidence of the evolution of a brand, which means your brand is very healthy and alive, and people love that. And so, to answer your question, rip off the band-aid, the brand-aid,
The
and just do it.
Brand-Aid.
Go all in because you're evolving, you're excited. It's all about the story you tell too. Like, I know this is different, and here's what it means to us, and here's why it looks this way, and you're allowed to have feelings about it. Here are our feelings about it. And then just being okay with what happens, because people will, sometimes be like, well, I liked your old brand. Okay, that's okay. In some, like, I think we're all like sensitized by, like a Cracker Barrel thing or whatever brand update that, we saw publicly that went wrong or whatever. But I
Did you
mean,
say
those are
Cracker
such,
Barrel? Was that the
yeah,
brand?
there was,
Oh
Yeah,
man,
they
I waitressed there in college. That was horrible. I was
yeah. You need to pull out
never
some
wish
stories
to
from
relive that.
that.
Oh my gosh. And I
Oh,
also didn't
yeah.
know about the stuff with that place when I was working there, and I learned later, and it's all true. It's just not a
Mm.
yeah, that
Okay, we need to get into that in another behind the scenes. But
I
I
love that
mean,
one.
people are allowed to have their reactions to it. If you feel great about it and it's what it does feel like this is where we're going now. Do
I'm
Oh
it.
my
so
God.
excited.
The energy of my team around it, they are just re-energized. They're super excited. And I'm in no like illusion that people are so focused on me that it's going to be game changing or anything like that. Like I'm not a Cracker Barrel of like a lot of big awareness.
Yeah.
Uh, but to me, I was like, oh, all of a sudden we'll post this, and then if anybody looks at our feed, I've always treated like an Instagram feed like a magazine where you want everything to kind of have a similar vibe and feel. And I kind of like that this is going to disrupt that flow. And so I think
I
I
do
just needed
too.
permission to like rip off the brand-aid and do
Yeah.
the
I
hashtag.
Yeah.
expect our WhatsApp chat to be ripe with examples shortly after this
Yes.
Oh, I can't
conversation.
wait to show you. I mean,
Yes.
we've been posting some on LinkedIn. Like, if you go to
Oh,
LinkedIn, we've already
Oh.
ripped off the brand-aid, and it's pretty
the
funny.
Brand-Aid, Misty. Get it
There we
right.
go.
The Brand-Aid.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it, and I'm excited. And I think the days of, and I came from the same, school of thought of like, let's make sure it's all people are, that's not as much of a rule anymore. I think people like to
Love it.
see things change all the
Right,
time, frequently. So yeah, I can't
right.
wait to see it.
Oh,
Yay,
I'm
thank
so
you for that permission.
excited.
All right,
Ladies,
Stacy,
this
are
was
we
so
ready to
fun.
wrap?
We're ready to wrap from our unplanned live. We didn't do my idea that nobody knows about.
I'm ready.
Oh, wait, I don't have a book here. Okay, hold on.
What? Come
Oh,
on.
look.
I should grab a client book. You have a client book on your head,
I
Emily.
do. I
This is just
do.
going to be an inside joke. Nobody knows why we're doing this.
We're doing it to make Stacy laugh uncontrollably. That's why. So thank you so much for joining our live. It's been really fun to be here with you, or not joining, as the case may be. We wish. Oh, it's Friday. Happy weekend, and yeah, take care. Go out into the world
Love
and
y'all.
cause some good trouble.
Yes, thank you if you joined us, or if we're talking to nobody, that's fine too. And it was fun. And ladies, I love you, and we'll do this again
Love you back.
soon.
All right.